Test 2, 3, 4. Test 2. Okay, I think that should do it now. Okay. Amen. All right, and so we see as a result there was fasting and prayer, the whole city, no animals, no people. They meant business with the Lord. And guess what? This group of wicked people, God honored that fast. He honored it. So much so that Jonah got mad. Jonah was upset because he preached a message and people believed him. Amen. But we detach ourselves from things that could keep us from God. And so this king of Nineveh said, listen, I don't want food or water or any such thing to keep us from God. All right, but what else can keep us from God? Sometimes marital intimacy. Let's take a look at a couple places there. Exodus 19, verses 14 and 15. Exodus 19, verses 14 and 15.
And Moses went down from the mountain to the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives.
Okay, amen, that's it. Come not at your wives means, hey, it ain't time to play around with your wife right now. We're doing business with the Lord. He sanctified the people and washed their clothes. He said, be ready against the third day and come not at your wives. And so they needed to refrain from marital intimacy to spend time with the Lord. Another example of that is 1 Corinthians 7, which is one you're probably more familiar with. 1 Corinthians 7, verses 1 through 5.
Concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband hath not power over his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other. With me. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your
Incontinency. Amen. All right. And so we see here what is going on is Paul is setting the record straight. Hey, listen, if it would be good for a man not to touch a woman. However, to avoid fornication, which is sin, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. And then, if you are married, you're not to defraud one another. When you give of yourselves, you give wholeheartedly of yourselves, and you don't hold back unless it is a time when you are fasting and trusting God for something. Amen. Now, please, let's not try to use that as an excuse every time. No, I'm still fasting and praying. Right. Amen. There must be consent. There needs to be something that you all agree to and work that thing out in advance. Amen. And so, even here we see how serious fasting and prayer should be. Amen. All right. Now, let's look at the practical steps to begin fasting. A, set an objective. Why are you going to fast? I think that's important. Why are you fasting? There needs to be an objective there. There needs to be a reason that you're doing it. I think this is later on in the lesson, later in the lesson it says, if you're fasting without praying, that's not a fast, that's a diet. And so you need to know what the objective is. What are you trying to ask God for when you're fasting and praying? All right. B, we need to lay a spiritual foundation. Confession of sin. Okay? Amen. Don't reap what you've sown and then think you can just say, well, God, I'm a fast. I ask you. No, you got to confess that thing. That's part of your prayer life. You confess that sin. If there's something that caused the situation that you're in, and it's your sin, you need to confess it. Lay that spiritual foundation. Amen. What happens many times is we drift away from God, and then we find ourselves in a situation. Well, the problem is not that God has drifted, but we've drifted. And so we need to lay that foundation again and confess, Lord, I must admit I was closer to you in times past. And I've let that relationship slip. And so I'm asking you to help me get my relationship right with you. C, we need to make physical preparations. Okay, what are the physical preparations? You can prepare by eating less in advance of your fast. Amen. It's kind of hard when you're eating 4 Whoppers a day and then you decide, I'm fasting for the next, you're going to be real spiritual, 40 days and 40 nights. It more than likely won't work. And so you start preparing yourself physically for that fast by eating less in advance of your fast. But also, you need to consult your physician if your fast is prolonged, especially if you're taking prescribed medication. Or if you have certain questions or concerns, your doctor can answer that for you. Amen. If you go to a doctor that doesn't understand fasting, I have one I can recommend to you. Amen. Who could understand and guide you. Now, listen, if you take 20 medications a day and 15 of them say, take with food, you better talk to your doctor first. Amen. Because you can find yourself in a world of hurt. Amen. You'll definitely be doing some praying if you take those medications that can upset your stomach without food on it. You'll go to the throne room for real and do a whole lot of fasting and praying. But consult your doctor first. Amen. And not just on this, on anything. I should say on everything. You know, every time there's a new fad out, people want to try it. Ooh, what was that? The cabbage diet. Do y'all remember that? Okay, amen. The cabbage diet, where you just eat. Oh, okay, amen. Well, see, so a lot of y'all did it, amen. All right. I can imagine why the first 10 pounds left, but talk to your doctors first, because a lot of times if you're doing it for health reasons or medical reasons, they have plans that are more sensible. Because I can tell you, nobody in their right mind wants to stick to eating just cabbage. I mean, amen. As much as I love certain foods, I would get sick of them if that's all I could eat. And so, you know, all of these different fads that are out there, talk to your physician. And amen. D, seek God's guidance. Seek God's guidance. Let God direct you. Again, I know a lot of churches that try to proclaim fast and say, we're going to do this for such and such a time. Well, the Lord might have told the pastor that, but I question whether the Lord told the pastor to tell the entire church to do the same thing. You talk to God. You have a personal relationship with the Lord, so you seek God's guidance on those things, especially if you're under doctor's care. Amen. I can remember, and I know it's changed a little now, but I can remember when Jehovah's Witnesses, they weren't dealing with any blood transfusions, and that's still an issue and topic with them now. But many people died, and they didn't have to die. So you talk with your doctor about those things. All right, and we'll finish up with E, the last one. Plan your prayer time. Plan your prayer time. And this is the spot to say fasting without prayer is only a diet. And so if you're saying you're fasting and praying, a lot of people focus on the fast and not on the prayer. When really, we eat, 3 times a day, plus however many snacks you have. But so what really needs to be planned is the prayer time. If you're really seeking God's face about something, then plan your prayer time. Most people already know what time they want to eat. Amen. But when it comes to prayer time, we're not as loyal to that prayer time. And so let's just make preparations if you are going to do it. And those are just a few practical steps. Okay, we're going to stop right there, and we'll pick up right where we left off next week, Lord willing. Any questions or comments on anything we've covered? Okay, we have a couple. We'll get Sister Williams and then Pastor Mizell.
Question. This is going to be for Dr. Green about the doctor's part on fasting.